Hey, what's Gucci, guys? Your boy C Money King, Cash Money, Christian on the Pink, aka Danganronpa, Happy Tripping, Happy Havoc Trick. We're about to start the second trial. See who did it. I think it's Tokyo. It's Tokyo's bitch ass. This is her? Celeste. That's crazy. And she has to get up. And also, yeah, hooked up. Right?
It's true.
We have to do this. Yes. I get small. No, I didn't reply. With one night, I walked towards the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart start to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotion, couldn't stop speculating. The steel ball stick with heavy concrete slumps deeper and deeper into the ground. As it went deeper, the unease of my heart grew bigger and bigger. If it was Toga, she's not very smart, so this one should be easy. That photo was unaffected, however, it continued to settle without hesitation. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste your time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with. Good. Go, rip right in. Go. I don't know.
Well?
Good, let's get the show on the road.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Come on, please find your assigned seats. So the curtain opened once again. A deadly deception, deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial. Chroma file, the victim was Sheriff of Society. Time at certainty 2 o'clock a.m. The body was discovered in the girl's on the spot. The cause that was the bloodshed with blunt object. She was killed instantly. Officer wanted to get short, but she declined several invitations from Sakura and Aoi, and may have used the locker room late at night to avoid them. Despite that, Chihiro has stated that she desired help with her efforts. She may have been meeting someone in the locker room the night she was murdered. The dumbbell found on the floor of the girl's locker room had a significant amount of blood on it. Chihiro had told anyone one listen that she wanted to get stronger. Some assumed that due to her inferior qualities without being weak, she admired strength more than anything else. To lock a locker room, you need to swipe your e-handbook over the card reader. You need a mail suit hand for the boys' room and a few notes. The girl, it's not possible for two people to enter at the same time. Additionally, letting someone in your handbook is a violation of school regulations. The handbook of each story that has died is placed in the mailbox in the main hall. One of the handbooks found in the main hall that has been broken is apparently rare occurrence. Transferring inside the handbook both seem to still work, so it is assumed that the broken handbook is Leon's. Maybe Leon's, it might be Hero's as well. However, many Kuma claims it's very unlikely that Leon's handbook would have been broken. Suspect agents of Psych victims include Ken Harada, Tetsuya Hondo, and Shuji Kaku, among countless others. They were killed in the same way, amounted to a nearby wall. The word bloodless was found and seen out featuring original blood. Perfectly indicated the killer likely to be suffering from a split personality. Chihiro seems to have constantly kept a distance from the girls at the school. Even from the beginning, meanwhile, it had been noticed that she got along remarkably well with her male classmates. The carpet in the boys' locker room was found with a black stain on it. Havoc found a poster in the girls' locker room. The poster featured big breasted supermodel Papa among the boys. Meanwhile, the boys' locker was for and Papa with teenage girls. Chihiro's handbook was not found on her foot and has apparently caught missing. Chihiro's body has been suspended and her hand has been bound with some kind of rope. Her fatal injury was a blow to her head. Sakura mentioned that she was responsible for a coffee share on the girls' locker room. The whole of the street had been inexplicably scrubbed away. The uncle was known to use the rent off the helmet. Tactical had a combination support but couldn't quite reach the outlet. On the night of the murder, right before nighttime, Chihiro was spotting even the warehouse. It seemed she was stuffing some blue exercise clothes into a duffel bag. Presumably she was on her way to exercise, but the clothes were not found on the privacy clear. Sosa had not told anyone other than Makoto about this encounter. Alright. Let's do this.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
There was a thing. Well, to make clear what was used to before the blow.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
It had to be the kill cam. There was somebody with a course train on it.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. What kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Oh, keep looking at it.
That certainly would make for
Poor Chihiro.
Chihiro's. It appears it was.
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used. What kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Right?
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime?
Should be obvious.
It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
Right?
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell.
True.
As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake
Right.
and no room for doubt on this one.
Fact.
You looked at her head wound?
Yep.
Yes! That's so creepy!
However, we can solve it.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is The fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Yep. Right, the famous serial killer. Do you really kill Chihiro? You on the guys know so debate. We would like to hear more. Sure. Line of white noise will. Your trooper was fear if they hit these lines, so think of them as also in your debate. There's a way to keep these white noise from getting in your way. Press F button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. If you shoot an actual remote which hardens up the white noise, talent will decrease, so careful aim. You have your silencer out. Oh, but if you and the white noise won't appear at all. This you can't forget about the silencer. It's focused on the storage in front of you. That's half fun. That's the case file.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong.
That got it wrong.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
Yep.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right.
Blood loss, not
Food
food
lust.
No, blood loss.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
Right?
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Yeah. Split personality.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Split personality disorder.
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
There's the characteristic of every Genocide Jack case. It's the world at large doesn't know. It's from the side it has to do with the position of the body. How the victim's decision.
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way.
But in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in certain
Other
way.
than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro is most definitely suspended in the same way.
Yep.
So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it?
Oh, true. Oh, true, that's true. That's right. No one would know, except the killer and the police or higher. So the person who did it was the real Genocide Jack.
There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
Yeah.
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yep.
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
Yep, I think so too.
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
Yeah, I think so too. It's been acting crazy.
You're right!
Yeah. Should be happy you guys don't like each other.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec.
That's split personality. This is crazy.
Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes,
Yeah, split
and no.
personality.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
But I feel like I understand it. the main personality such as the Toko boss is not be called a split personality. That's like it's not someone for multiple people, right? Looking for
Now I understand.
Jeez, though, what the hell is that?
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Yep.
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too.
Yeah, we did. Nothing. It did say it.
They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
One thing that shows Toko have a split personality to her behavior.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
Yep.
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
That seems strange. Fine, what, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. We'll have to come back. Stop Indian and Bond feature on the web live. I'm sure a picture of her tongue out. This is quite concerning. She's not completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm.
Yep.
In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Probably. We'll let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her, of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this?
Right?
No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation.
Oh, the promise.
She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
Oh, damn.
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
No, it's not. She's crazy.
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
Because that's a confession. It's her.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you.
But I got another phone call because COVID. You want to see how I'm doing? You promised. I can't believe you. No.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
Right? Why she likes him?
Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone.
Oh, that's true.
But in spite of that promise...
See? I'm sorry, I couldn't keep a promise. I couldn't keep a promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't want Genocide Jack to control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me.
Wait, what?
That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
Alright, so she did do it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person?
The
You
face.
don't mean...
Yep. So by something going backwards, use the to echo the constant curve in the next second. Just like that. Oh!
Hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see? What the heck?
Her personality just changed.
So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do?
Oh, don't do that face with that tongue. Pretty bad.
I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Right?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
What the hell?
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
I like this one better than the original Toko.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Right?
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murder scene, Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
Doesn't she hit you or something? You gotta careful, watch your back if you mean.
What's up?
Huh?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Yep, she has nothing to do with it. Kuma put us in here.
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid!
Hunky. Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid?
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Wait, I gotta do this voice. Sorry, just like... I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
Okay, let me try to do her voice. Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone.
Okay, hold on. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone.
Just kidding again!
Just kidding again. I can do the laugh.
This should be enough to convince you.
Yep.
This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
Just confirmed it
A
too.
motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined.
That's true.
So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
What? Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe. She's totally right about that, but something still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all of this. Yeah, look at the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need?
Feels crazy.
Give it up. You killed her.
I told her no, she was like, almost up.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would...
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Sorry, but I didn't.
You say that, but do you really expect any?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change...
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, what's wrong? Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Well then, human garbage, let me tell you. Can't do it.
I murder with passion and conviction.
I murder with passion and conviction.
I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things.
I consider myself a professional, and have a very particular way of doing things.
Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
One clear difference between the murder. The photo from the other one, look at the neck and stomach.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different.
Yeah.
In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way.
Like scissors.
According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Yeah.
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
Right?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
I was looking at the third house was suspended. All the other people captured. All the other people captured with their hands. Very clear.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her?
Like rope, no wire.
They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
Yep.
And guess what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement! Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Yeah, Big Mac.
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
The pattern is starting with the Genocide Jacket. Hero against it. Look at the names of every victim. So you notice that. Yeah, figure it out. I know why she's going to kill. This hero's a
I
girl.
got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Okay, 14 years old, damn. Takashi Yoshida, 30. There's no end of it.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I killed with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
Oh, shit.
I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it! But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-blood fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of a one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it.